Oh man. Okay. I don't know how, like, why? Why do things have to be so stressful through OBS? Can we just talk? Can we just have a stream already? And it was right as I was telling you guys, I got engaged. Though I think most of you guys already knew that and kind of got the story um, because I had a Patreon stream. Louder source volume is better. We can always turn down speakers down. I can turn it down a little tiny bit. It should be pretty decent though. I think we're good. So, yeah, we're here to wedding plan, and I just spent 13 minutes. Let me do this. Like, to signal myself to trim everything until this point. Hi, we're going to pretend this is the very beginning of the stream. Thank you so much for being here today as I start my wedding planning. It's really just, I wanted to take time. I wanted to use this stream to like announce to you guys that Jake and I are engaged, that it happened right on the eve of our 5-year anniversary. And I wanted to do something fun related to that. And so I thought, let's throw around ideas. Jake and I don't have any plans really, and really nothing is concrete yet. We don't have any plans in terms of, we don't have a date set. I have no idea what a budget is going to look like. I have no idea how much weddings are supposed to cost. I think we just have some ideas of some things that we want. And so I thought I would share that with you, / some things that I've maybe favorited online. And then also I asked if any of you guys wanted to send in ideas that you had for me. Feel free to send them in. I also said that totally recognizing that most people probably don't want to share their ideas just with some random person who's getting married, because typically when people have ideas, it's for themselves. So, but Rachel, being the good friend she is, and the like real wedding planner that she should be, sent me a bunch of ideas. So I have ideas that I've come up with, and some things that she gave me. And then I also put the email address for my for the podcast in the pinned comment. So I'm going to go ahead and, I thought I had opened up that that email already. Let me go ahead and just, oh, I know where it is. So I'm going to open up the other window that has the email address. That's right. Okay. I don't think any new emails have come in. Nope. Okay. So where are we? I'm going to close out Discord. So you guys cannot find me via Discord, or you cannot contact me via Discord, unfortunately. So where are we? Yeah. Thank you. Kate Rosario says, congratulations. Thank you. Very excited. Very excited. It was a very simple proposal. We took a walk down to our favorite spot here in Savannah, which is the riverfront, specifically our favorite candy store. And he asked me right down there by the river. And then we came home and we made late night lasagna, and that is not an innuendo. We made lasagna the way that my mom used to make it, which is the way I like it. And that's how we celebrated. And then the next day was Jake's birthday. He likely would have proposed on that day, but it was his birthday because our anniversary is on the same day as his birthday. But I already had plans for his birthday. So let's talk about plans, wedding plans. What do we have in terms of ideas? I've got a document here. Let me actually share it with y'all. Let me open it up. There you can go. There you can go. There you can go. There you go. Let me see if I can open up the, oh, I don't have to have the other window open. I can see y'all. I can see y'all. I can close this one out. Okay, cool. So let me adjust the camera a little bit because it's blocking me. I set it up. I moved the camera after I already optimized it for this window. So you should be good. We should be able to see this document. So obviously the top says from Rachel. So there are some ideas that, and I haven't looked through any of the ideas she sent me, but what I thought I would do is just first show you what I have so far, and the ideas that I have / that Jake and I have had that we've shared together. And then I'll go through and see what Rachel has envisioned. So first, a Savannah wedding. That's already in the description of this video. I think, what theme are you going for? That I'm going to get into, Kate. First, one of the first things to decide was, where do we want to get married? I want to have a Savannah wedding. In fact, I was never somebody, let me preface all of this with saying that I was never quite somebody that like dreamed about my wedding day or made plans or, some people have scrapbooks of, what they plan their wedding to be before they even meet the person they're going to get married to. And no shade to people like that. That's just not me. And in fact, I think Jake and I both were kind of apathetic towards the idea of getting married in general. And then some stuff happened with family, and I just really thought about how much I do not want to miss out on having the opportunity of sharing kind of that celebration of our partnership with our families. So, and he's the person that I'm going to be with forever. So yeah, I shared that with him, and he had kind of already gotten the idea, I think, because he had already purchased and ordered a ring for me by the time that I kind of expressly said that to him. So, the timing was just right. So I say that I hadn't really envisioned much of a wedding, but I do remember going to school near the Savannah area when I was in college. And I remember visiting Savannah and seeing the weddings in Savannah and just thinking that how beautiful it was just to witness what little I would see outside the churches or in the squares and things like that. If you're not familiar with Savannah, it's a beautiful city. It is, I would argue, absolutely one of the most beautiful cities in America, if not the most beautiful city in America. Super haunted, very historic, but a couple things I really like about it. For one, the weather's great, but I love the Spanish moss and the squares. So I'm learning that a lot of what I like about Savannah is similar to what I like about DC, and that it's all kind of consistent with French architecture and French city planning. So, in Europe, you'll see a lot of roundabouts, and in DC, there are a lot of roundabouts. Savannah's answer to the roundabout is the squares. So if you're unfamiliar, imagine Forrest Gump, the movie Forrest Gump, which was filmed in Savannah, where he's sitting at the bus stop, which doesn't actually exist, but it's right in front of one of the squares. I believe Wright Square. Maybe not. It's the one. The name will come to me totally after I'm streaming, but basically you have these little squares. They're like mini tiny little parks that kind of act as roundabouts, and there's several of them in the historic downtown area. And then all but one of them, I think, have these weeping trees that have Spanish moss kind of coming down from all of them. So it's super romantic. It's just a very romantic city. Monica says, popping in to say hi. Hi, Monica. You want to say that one is Madison Square? Rachel, who became an expert on Savannah in the past week or so. Thank you, Monica. So happy for you, Leash. Thank you. So if I'm not mistaken, so I've seen people getting married kind of like, I've seen people like in the squares, or like I said, there are a couple of churches, a couple of really beautiful churches in Savannah, but you have to imagine how many people want to get married in Savannah, and then allow that to make sense in terms of finding out how exclusive these churches are. So I am traditional in the sense that I would love to get married in a beautiful church, but that's just not going to happen in Savannah. The two churches that would really mean something, either because it's so beautiful and it signifies Savannah, which is one of these churches I'll show you, or the other church that I really thought would be a great place for a wedding is the church that is kind of seen at the very beginning of Forrest Gump. But like I said, these churches are super exclusive, and they don't just allow anybody to come and get married because everybody would get married in them. But I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I heard a tour guide say that you can get married in the squares outside the churches. So that may be a roundabout. Chippewa Square. Thank you, Rachel. Chippewa Square is the square that Forrest Gump is filmed in front of, and yes, so that square, maybe that's a possibility, because that's the square that's closest to the Forrest Gump church. And the other church that I really hoped would be a possibility, but I talked to them and they were like, only long-standing, contributing, let me see if I can find the quote. I sent it to my dad. I asked them what their requirements were to get married in their church, and they said, long-standing, registered, practicing, attending, contributing members. Saturday weddings only at 2 p.m. or 7:30, no exceptions. And I was telling them that I was thinking about potentially a non-Saturday wedding to see if that could help us just open up availability on certain things. So everybody let Jake know that he is going to most likely be wearing black on our wedding day, because he sent me a still from Dumb and Dumber of the tuxedos. Very original, Jake. But so those are the requirements for this church. But take a look at it. My goodness. Look at that. I wonder if I can, oop. I was just going to open the window up a little bit more. Can y'all see? Yeah. Jake, you're wearing black, says Rachel. Kate says this is something out of a fairy tale, right? That's the one by Lafayette Square, right, Rachel? So, as beautiful as it is, I cannot get married inside because I'm not a long-standing, registered, contributing, attending member. Luca, if Leash gives you fashion requirements, you follow them. Shelby, I love that this document is 24 pages. Is it? I didn't even notice, but it's just really like 20-ish images. I didn't resize any of the images down for optimal viewing, so they're mostly just images. So here's Rachel found this for me. This is what it would look like if you were to get married. This would be the view from one of the squares at the church. So it's kind of a workaround. Something I'm going to explore in terms of the actual ceremony venue. Oh, Shelby, who knows how many pages this document would be if I put all of Rachel's links, open them up, and just look at this. Look at those. I don't know if we'll have time. I'm going to have to rush through this. So what do I have first? So, okay, I was looking at rings first. So this was one of the rings that I saw online that I really liked. And I might just need to just get it as just a standalone ring to wear. But Jake and I were kind of looking at images of these what are called filigree rings. So if you look at the details on the ring, that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's what's referred to as filigree. And we kind of looked at other rings and decided something else would be better for me, but that Jake could get a filigree ring. So is that what I have next? Yeah. So he really liked this one, but unfortunately that is a little too small to be considered a men's band. But he has enough flair to not go for just a very simple, solid gold ring for the most part. He might end up getting one. I'm not going to say he wouldn't, but Jake has enough fashion to where he would go for something that's just a little bit more interesting than a simple ring. So I think that something like this, if we could get something that looks like this, that would be so amazing. If only this were just a little bit wider of a ring. I did find one that was 4 millimeters and it looks like this. So I was trying to show him before the stream, but I couldn't open the document enough. So that might be it. This is a contender for Jake's ring, a filigree ring. I just think that would be so beautiful. Like how gorgeous to have like a filigree ring, like a ring this beautiful and ornate on a manly hand. I don't know. I like the idea. Oh, Kate says, you both have very good taste. Thank you, Kate. We both have a similar interest in style. Luca says, tell Jake to get smaller fingers. Simple. Just shrink down your hands, man. So this ring, I understand this image is really small, but I grabbed it off my phone and it was like part of like a quad not even a quad. It was a smaller image on an ad that I was just looking at before I started this stream. But in terms of looking for ideas for wedding bands for me, there are a couple of different things that I saw that I like. I do kind of like the idea of something like this that's got kind of small stones all the way around, but just very simple and dainty. I think something like that could be very beautiful. I also saw this one earlier today. Again, this might just be a ring that I need to just get. There was a while there where I was wearing a good bit of rings. Then when I thought I might be getting engaged soon, I took most of them off except for this one that's stuck. But some of these rings, like I don't need to feel so heartbroken over that I can't have them because they're versatile rings. They're not just wedding rings. So I could potentially get some of these just just to have. Dainty little nug. Cassie, I have very chubby fingers. I do too. I have the hands of a kindergartner, people say. But look at me. I've got a beautiful engagement ring on. So, and Kate, just to give you an idea, because you asked about the theme, I'll just go ahead and say that Jake and I both are really big fans of anything Art Deco. So that will probably be the guiding light for whatever details we decide around our wedding. And this ring is considered Art Deco. Let me see if I can get it close enough to show you. I don't know how to focus, put my hand behind my hand like a beauty influencer. So, I love my ring so much. It's so beautiful. And it's just very much aligned with both my style and Jake's. Who tells another adult that they have kindergartner hands? Oh, it's not like that, Luca. No, but I've been like told by like family members who joke around. Like my Lupe, my aunt who passed away, she used to joke that I have ogre fingers. MN Mama says, I got mine and my husband's ring both off Etsy for $100. I meant to note, like I said, I have no idea what kind of budget I will have or that one would have for a wedding. But I know that no matter what, I'm probably going to go for more affordable options on a lot of things. Of course, when it comes to wedding bands in general are not not nearly as expensive as like engagement rings. So, and if it's going to have, Jake is only going to have one wedding ring. I have an engagement ring, and then I'll have a wedding band. So like whatever, there are certain things where it's like if it costs a little bit more, then we'll probably splurge on, but there are other things where other areas where we can save money. Obviously, like venue will be one area that we could likely save money, because I don't think you have to pay much, if at all, to get married in one of the squares. But back to my rings. So here's another kind of a sample or example of a ring that has kind of just small stones all the way around. However, I think we already know which one I'm going to get. 1920s, 1930s, yes, that is around the time period. So imagine a touch of The Great Gatsby, but not something nearly as costumey as most people's Great Gatsby parties. Rachel's over here taking notes because she wants to plan my wedding, so she's like, Great Gatsby, but not like a costume party. So, yes, I'm in love with anything Art Deco, and I worked in an Art Deco building for 5 years and lived in it for 3. And it was like a very famous historic Art Deco building in Washington, D.C. And it was just everything from that period and movement, and not the Depression, not the recession, but here we go. I'm just rambling at this point. Here's the ring that we think that I'm going to get, actually. I really like it. Jake really likes it. And it is the recommended ring for my engagement ring. So I'll show you again. It is made by the same jeweler. And it's recommended. Because that little divot, in case you're wondering, it looks like one's missing. The little divot is because this is to accommodate for the marquise cut here. So this likely will be the one that I end up getting. Rachel wrote Art Deco wedding ideas. Open on Google. Ooh. Thankfully, this is probably only a part 1. Because, who knows how many parts I could do like this if people like doing this. I don't know when I'm getting married. I'm not in a rush, though. I will say that. I don't want a super long engagement, but I'm also not in any sort of rush to get to the altar. I imagine a standard, like, 2-ish years or something like that. This is definitely not a number I've run by Jake. So that's, like, so conceptual. Okay, so dresses. Here are some really pretty dresses I've seen, but that I will likely not choose. So dresses like this, very beautiful. Look at that plunging neckline. So beautiful. I love it. I love that it's super long. I love that it's really feminine and dainty, and it has all the flowers as appliques. I love that. However, I'm just not built for plunging neckline, and that makes me so sad. And I know that I should not be so woe is me that I am not built for a plunging neckline, if you know what I mean. But it's just probably not for me. However, I will say, so this one right here, I need y'all's honest opinions about this dress. Look at the back. That looks gorgeous, in my opinion. It looks very beautiful. And these dresses, by the way, I did see them on Etsy. So these are relatively affordable dresses. They're a couple $100. Let me see if I can open this window a little more. So this dress right here, I think Jake said that he thought it looked pretty. My thing is, are the shoulders too much? I know that I tend to be fine with being a little extra, but do the shoulders take away from the person, And it is like a plunging neckline, but it looks like it's also able to be supportive, because I'm looking at the model and she looks like she's also built in a similar way, if you know what I mean. So it's possible that something like this would be doable for me. And part of me is like, those shoulders are just too much. They're just so out there. But I'm also like, yeah, but that's so me. That's so you, Alicia. So Mindy says she could picture me in a dress like this. Thank you. I think the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, yeah, maybe that does make sense for me. There's also something like this. I could see myself in something like this as well. But I wonder if I've seen this style of dress too many times too. Elise says something like that. What do you mean? Do you mean this is dress A, beautiful, but it's not going to happen for me. This is dress B that we've seen a few photos of. Dress B, dress B. Then that would be dress C. I think it's pretty, but I don't think it'll be it. Rachel says, oof, most of the dresses I found and ended up loving are like T-length, not floor length. Yeah, you'll be surprised. Well, I mean, dress B, Elise says. People seem to like it. Yes, you can send a link, Kate. I'm not 100% sure I'll have time to get to them because time is already after 7. But we'll see. The email address is in the pinned comment. But this was my original plan. I was originally going to go with this one and just order it in white. I'm surprised that the Etsy listing didn't show any photos of it in white. And at first I was like, this is me. This is so perfect for me. But one, I showed it to Jake and he didn't seem that excited about it. And two, it doesn't have a train, and I think I want a train. Let's go back look at B. I mean, look at the back of that one. Is that it? Is that the dress, y'all? Did we just find it? I love this one, but I might just need to own it as a like the dusty blue looks really beautiful as just a different dress. So that would be dress like D. That was the one I originally thought I was going to get. But yeah, B looks like it makes a lot of sense, right? So I'll have to close out the window. If you're going to send me an email, Kate, I'm going to close out the window or hide it so it doesn't show your email address. I'm going to refresh right now and see if it's there. It's basically apod@gmail.com. Nope, I don't have anything. So let's go back. So the next thing I have is the one idea I have. So just to be clear, all I've searched for is white or tulle wedding dresses or something like that, because tulle is a very affordable fabric and it is what I'm known for. I've worn a lot of tulle on this channel. No, I don't think I'll do dusty blue for the reception. I think I'll probably just wear the same dress from ceremony to reception. If I find the dress that's the dress, I think I'll want to wear it for the whole shebang. But I would love to get this dress maybe sometime for an event. Who knows? Like, there will be a time when I will need a dress. So in terms of this, I only have one more image left, and it's a bridesmaid dress idea. I feel kind of strongly about having a very small wedding. So I talked to Jake about this, and I think that I want to have a wedding party that is essentially just one maid of honor and one best man. So one bridesmaid, one groomsman. Yeah. So a wedding party of 2. And so that will be my sister Dana, who's absolutely out of this world gorgeous. And I saw this dress and I liked it. It's definitely something for me. She probably might not be something that she loves, but it would not be in this color. It would be in black. So kind of going back to that idea where Kate asked what your theme is, and I'm talking about Art Deco. I want something small, but I may ask all the guests to wear black. I've heard of people doing this, and I think it would just kind of make a really pretty, it would help to make a really cohesive, really pretty moment with while being affordable and not, I don't want to do the most, but I do want to create a really beautiful small ceremony and reception. Okay, let me hide this. So yeah, so this dress in black I think would look really cute as a bridesmaid dress, and would absolutely be something that my sister could wear again. And I know that every bride says that, like, you can wear it again, but if she's not going to wear it again, I'll take it. I'll take it back and I'll wear it to something because I think it's gorgeous. So let's see. Let me hide the window really quick. And let's see the wedding dress that Kate sent. This is Kate's idea. Yeah, that's beautiful. All those stones. That's definitely a very, very beautiful dress to look at. Probably wouldn't be for me. Definitely is something Art Deco. I see where you're coming from. My dress isn't necessarily Art Deco, because when you think Art Deco, you think of like a flapper, and you think of something very like a sheath dress, something very just like simple, kind of form-fitting. And I want something to give me more shape rather than just to take my shape. And that's why I like the idea of tulle. And tulle can really give me lots of volume. As you can see with dress B, there's not only volume from the waist down, but there's also volume around the shoulders, which, now that I think about it, looking back on this in 20 years, it might be embarrassing. That's something I hadn't thought about since I got engaged, but I remember thinking every time somebody got married, I'm like, in 20 years, are they going to be embarrassed when they look back on this? The way a lot of us think when we look at 80s weddings and we see those wedding dresses from the 80s with the huge puffy shoulders and then these like big feathered hair with these headbands. So, oops, I'm so sorry. So let me scroll back up and see what ideas Rachel sent. And y'all, please don't be offended if I'm like, I like your idea, but it's not for me. These things are so, it's so funny. The document was like, hey, do you want to personalize this? These things are so personal, really. So let's see what Rachel sent. Oh, no. Okay. So what is this? These are venues. An elegant Savannah wedding at Madison Square. This is also a wedding photographer. We're going to have to glance through these kind of quickly because we have 45 minutes. Look at this. So this is a wedding photographer. So this gives us an idea of what it will look like to be married in one of the squares. So that's actually really helpful to have. Thank you, Rachel. Oh, and they'll have, the trolleys going by. What I didn't mention, too, is that I would like to have one of the... Savannah has the horse and carriages. I would like to have one of those to take us away and take us down to, hopefully, a riverfront reception. It's beautiful. See, wow, they're accommodating quite a wedding party. I'm looking at a very small... And I have seen very, very small weddings in some of these. I know where that square is. I'm familiar with that bank. Cute. Okay. What do we have next? Madison Square, Savannah. Rachel really likes Madison Square, huh? So there's some photos of Madison Square. Plan your wedding. Davenport. Is this another possible? Oh, these are all venues. So this is the Davenport House Museum. Let's see if this is a house that I recognize. I think I know where this is. Maybe. There is a house that I go by that I'm like, why does it look really cool? And it's got like a little courtyard that looks really cool. That's an idea. You can have, look, an elopement. 1 hour maximum time on the property. 5-person guest limit costs $200. Jake, we can go get married for $200. Let's do it. 5 people max. That means we'll have to forget our maid of honor probably, and we'll probably have to say sorry to our wedding party if we want to invite our parents. Yeah. It'll be our parents and one other person. That's funny though. That's what I would call a micro wedding. Let's see. Lafayette Square, Savannah. Oh, and so this is like, oh, Rachel, thank you. You're so organized. So here's Lafayette Square. Here's the square in front of the really big, beautiful church, which is, I didn't mention the name of the church. St. John's, the Cathedral of St. John's, St. John the Baptist Basilica or something like that. Rachel said, a lot of the venue section is just Google image searches of the squares. Kate says, no offense taken from me, at least it's your wedding. So yeah, and no, and even still, like, I could love the dress. I could love dresses and things like that, but not necessarily want it for my wedding. So these are still give me ideas for things. Like I said, kind of like with the rings. Like if I love a ring, I don't have to just not ever get it because it's not my wedding ring. I can get a really cool dress. And so these things give me ideas for other things that I can have in life one day if I want it. But this is Lafayette Square. So it has a really, really easy view of this church. My goodness, it's just so beautiful. See? Cathedral of St. John the Baptist. Like how... So I'm not a long-standing, attending, contributing, registered member, but I'm going to take some pictures out in front of you. It's so beautiful. Okay, so that's Lafayette Square. Savannah Squares and Parks. See? Oh my gosh. She's even got the rental information. Rachel, I didn't realize that you were putting together like stuff that like I could actually really use. What does it say about Lafayette Square? It's going to say that you can't rent it, huh? Abercorn Street is established war hero. Marquise de Lafayette. That's a Marquise cut ring. Is it meant to be? Event capacity is 250. I won't have that many people. Oh, I'm excited. Thank you, Rachel. Chippewa Square, Savannah. How did you know? Oh, you knew that this was one of them because it's the Forrest Gump Square. Yeah. See, there he is, Forrest Gump. Chippewa Square. Oh, I love it. Is this a wedding or is this just it's just a guy? Yeah. That's in front of another pretty church, so it's also a contender. Okay, so let's look at the dress ideas that Rach has. White corset tulle dress, homecoming dress, mid-length bridal. A lot of these too, if they're from Etsy and if they're like handmade, then you might be able to get the seller to make you a custom one that's, longer. This is beautiful, Rachel. What's funny is that it kind of looks like one of my best friends. My best friend, look up if you're in wedding mode after this, not right now, but look up Lauren and JP wedding. It was a really famous wedding video when my friend got married. So it was like circa 2009, I think. It was before wedding videos were really popular. And, it was kind of like earlier on in social media. So you didn't really have these like really stylized, cool weddings that were like super cool looking and really like set up for social media success. But my friend Lauren, she's just super artistic. Just like everything that she does is so aesthetic. People say that about me and I'm like, no, you haven't met my friend Lauren. She was a friend that my best friend from MIT. And she and her husband are both super tall and super smart. And so she kind of put together, she really kind of planned this wedding, and it's just like the coolest, like, especially if you think of like millennial indie vibes, like especially around that time. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then she went ahead and hired this videographer, and he put together a video to Passion Pit's Sleepyhead. And so, and it was cool because he was like, he sat at my table, and I was in the video a few times, and then it was just really cool. It turned out to be a really fun video. So look up Lauren and JP Wedding. And then they had it out there, and Ashton Kutcher just tweeted it out one day and said, "This is the best wedding video I've ever seen." And so he tweeted it, and it became famous. And it was so crazy because like I was at the gym one day, and I looked on TV, and this was at a time when Nate Berkus had a talk show. Nate Berkus was like the interior designer that Oprah made famous, and he had a talk show. And then I'm like at the gym, and I look on the TV, and it's the Nate Berkus show. And then I'm like, oh, I recognize that guy. That's the videographer from Lauren's wedding. And then they show clips from the wedding video. And so look at that video and see how similar her dress looks like to this. That looks beautiful. I wouldn't want to wear something that looks too similar to what one of my best friends wore though. But yeah, you get it, right? You get it. That's pretty. A lot of these things are like, I would not have thought of for myself, but they're so like, I want to go back to my indie girl hipster roots, you know? This is pretty. It might be a little too simple for me, and she's so glam. Spaghetti straps tulle prom dress. Spaghetti straps I don't know if I love, but tulle I do. So let's check it out. Oh, okay. There you go, Amazon. Yeah, I mean, you can get a really pretty dress on the cheap. That is cute. Oh, and it has pockets. Nice. Rachel said pockets. And this is another Amazon one. Oh, that's fun. That's like rockabilly style. Long sleeve tulle prompt. I kind of like this idea. It's similar to that one dress that I showed after dress B that kind of has like the tulle sleeves. The problem with these is that, oh, you see how beautiful it is? That's not how it's going to look when it shows up. That's something that I've learned. And it sucks because you have to find like, and I think there's someone, her name is Catherine Delish on Instagram, and she makes the robes that look like this. Like you look online and you see these big gorgeous like robes that look like they're like mid-century, and they're in pops of colors, and they flow, and they're see-through, and they look like they belong to a woman whose husband died under mysterious circumstances or something like that. But and then they show up and you're like, what is this? It's a piece of fabric. And it's because you have to actually find a seller who genuinely, like, if it looks too good to be true, and this is a whole thing that I did on fashion, but when you're shopping online, if it looks too good to be true and it looks really voluminous and all that, just guarantee if you're paying $40 for it, it's not going to show up looking like that. So when you find a dress like this looks really beautiful. And of course it's Amazon, so you can always buy it, see how it is when it shows up, and then return it if it's not that. That could be really pretty for getting it in black as my sister's bridesmaid gown, huh? I want that one in orange just because. So yeah. So that's something to keep in mind, is that you have to make sure that you're buying from a seller that is legitimately sending you the product that they're showing you pictures of. And sometimes that can be dicey online, obviously. Homecoming dresses for teens. Sparkly, starry, tulle, puffy. Oh, fun. If that were longer, yeah. That's fun. Rach, you really imagined me getting dressed getting married in something short, huh? Ball gown, A-line. I do like A-line. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that. See? Oh my gosh. That in blue. Why is it that some of these, when they're in white, you're like, me? The product photos doesn't do it much justice, but then when you see it styled for something, you're like, wow, look at that. This blue one is sending me. That's so beautiful. How does it look in black? A lot of these, I'm like, if I can't have it for me, how about for my sister? That's pretty. I gotta remember that just in case. But I do think I want my sister in that kind of shorter, kind of more cocktail. So the vibe I think that I want is going to be more kind of cocktail party. Thank you, Rachel, for sending me all these ideas. I'm going to keep these notes. And Kate, I will open up your email in another window. Let me just close this out. So the vibe I'm thinking is probably going to be kind of like, think Art Deco, cocktail party. I already closed out of my email. Cocktail party. So I do want to ask my guests to wear black, kind of like a black tie event. Kate, the only one I have is the one you just sent earlier. So check one more time. Let me search Art Deco Wedding and then see what pops up. Let's browse together. Let me open up this window for you. Yeah, Kate, sorry I checked, but there was nothing new. So Art Deco Wedding, let's look at these images and see if people have the same ideas as me. So I would want as much to be in black. See, like white flowers. I really like just white roses. Love it. If I make this bigger, can you still see my face? Yeah. Nope. There. So those like centerpieces. Could I do them on my own? I did tell Jake I want candlesticks. And he said, okay. See, like this to me is over the top. Like, I don't want that. That is New Year's Eve party. So it's kind of an interesting mix to find. This is a little too Gatsby for me, but I like the concept. Look at this cake. Huh. I'm not doing it, but I'm not hating on it either. Let me close out this window really quick to pull up the email that Kate sent. And I'm going to close out my email so I won't be able to open it. It looks like the same dress. Kate. It looks like this. Yeah, I opened up your second email and it says it's the same dress. It's the flapper dress. Okay, so let's keep browsing these weddings, these Art Deco weddings. See, what this girl's wearing kind of makes me think of what Kate was thinking in terms of dresses. It's beautiful too. Like her dress is beaded and beautiful. Like I said, I don't want something, so it's more flappery than I would want. I think I would feel more comfortable in something that gives me shape rather than relies on my shape, if that makes sense. Gosh, that's got to be expensive, but it's beautiful. Okay, I see that I got another email. Let's try this one last time. Kate, if not, we're probably gonna have to just maybe next time, but let's see. It looks like it might have come through. Y'all, I have peed so many times today, and I need to again, and I'm in a romper, so that sucks. All right, we got a new dress from Kate, so let's look at it together. Oh, pretty. Are those pockets? That's fun. It's interesting to see what it looks like when a dress is translucent, seeing pockets translucent. It's strange. It's a mind fuck a little bit. It's very like old fashioned, pretty. Do you hear anything? What does that mean? Please don't tell me something's wrong with my mic audio is fine. Okay. We'll browse a little bit more and then if that's all we've got, then that's all we've got. Can somebody else? Okay, yeah, Kate can hear. You may have to turn me up, but you can't hear me enough to hear me say that. So let's look at these people's ideas for Art Deco. Like, look at this old car. Like, that's so cool. She committed to like the flapper look. Respect, but I'm not doing it. I'm definitely going to go like long hair and no gloves. I can't commit to Art Deco as much as some of these people have. It's going to have to be like elements of Art Deco versus a whole theme. I'm having a hard time seeing a lot of what I really am looking for, what I'm envisioning. Okay, this right here. See like how this is not so like costumey. Costumey is the best way that I can put it. Look at this. Oh, I'm already in love. Okay, so it's like a beach, Art Deco beach. Oh. An Art Deco building was the first thing you see. I need to look for some flats, some wedding flats. Look at that. I like that. Her oh my gosh, her bouquet looks just like a picture that I was gonna get tattooed on my shoulder. Okay, Rachel, take note. This this looks beautiful. These look like the rental chairs that you get for anything. Like and if you look, just about every single wedding has these chairs, whether they be in gold or sometimes they're like in black. But this is along the lines of something that I'm thinking. Oh, that's so beautiful. Ugh, I die. See, I haven't seen a lot of weddings like this. I really, like, I'm contemplating because I like the idea of just white roses, but I do like these like blush colored ones, and then the kind of like, is this the correct arm that I have the tattoo on? Yeah. Kind of like this like coral colored these coral colored roses. You guys probably don't realize that I have this tattoo back here, huh? So add this to the doc. Okay. Yeah, I should take note of the interesting stuff. Okay. Let me see. Why don't I just look at the rest of their photos? That was it. I really like their wedding. So some of these are a little more like tropical than I want, but more along the idea, more along the lines of the Art Deco, like mid-century, like yeah, yeah. I could have my sister in an emerald green, but no, I think I'm gonna stick with the. This is cute. This is all very cute, but it's all a little too tropical for me. Thanks, no thanks. Your monstera looks very fake. Okay, did I click on something different? Because these are all beautiful. Something changed, and I am loving it. So whatever this search is, I'm saving it, Rachel. Because I don't know how I got here. But these are the idea. Like, look at this. That's it. This is the something like this. This like black and gold candlesticks. Oh, look at this. Look at her. You got these old buildings, which Savannah has. Savannah has old buildings. We can provide. Okay, that's cool. Should I take note of this one too, Rach? Cool, cool, cool. I don't love the dress for me, but I like that she's sticking with the theme. But in terms of like centerpieces and stuff, like something like this is cool. I keep saying cool. Something like that is beautiful. Her bouquet I like, but I think I would just keep it simpler, more just like white. Like that. That's pretty. Huh. See, I like these, how the plates are like gold, black, white, gold. Jake and I like black, white, gold, everything. Cool. All right, just so you know, Rach, I don't have your document open. I actually just copied and pasted stuff from your doc into another doc so that I could edit it. Here you go. Like, this is a little too much pastel for me, but well, never mind. They don't even want us to open it. I love these flowers. See? Clean, simple. Look at this. Can I have this place for my reception? Whatever that is. I like. Look at that rug that they got married on. Cute. So yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea. I'm going to look at the one more dress that Rachel sent. And I think I'm going to call it a night, guys. So let's see. Okay. I like the length of the dress. I like a little peek of the side. It's lacking a little something for me though. I don't know that I really like the fabric there. And I don't know if it's just like lacking shape or if it's just the model, but like that's what I was saying, like I want a dress that will like give me shape. A dress that takes on a shape of its own, you know? If that makes sense. Kind of some of the dresses I was looking at were like that. So even for the models, if they themselves didn't have a ton of shapes. Yeah, a lot of these dresses, they kind of just like kind of like just rest on the models' bodies, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not what I visualize for myself. That wasn't the one. Sorry, Rach. That wasn't the one for me, but you have a lot of really great ideas that I do want for me. So it's all a matter of, you gotta try. You gotta look. Look at this. Look at that. So pretty. Yeah, I gotta decide how much black and gold I want to bring in. Because I think that might be too much. I think this, while it's pretty, might be too much. I might need to like tone down or think very nuanced. We'll look at this and then let this be it. Great Gatsby Art Deco Wedding. I'm sure these get wild. See, that's pretty to me. I would not have nearly that many people. Holy crap, that's a lot, in my opinion. Maybe it's not a lot, actually. That's really not. That might be how many I need. It looked like a lot at first. These are fun. Very fun. Some a little too costumey for me. This is very cute. I like his jacket. Is really cool. I love an emerald green, but as part of my wedding, I don't know. Don't know if I can do it. I think I just want a simple black and white. I want Jake. He's a very like clean cut dude, so him in just like a nice, well fitted black tux will just be perfection. Look at this cake. So you could have fun and do something like beaded looking with a cake. Cool. Not this ideally. I don't love chevron, but somewhere along these lines, something like that. Interesting. All right. Perhaps we can do this again another time when we have more ideas. This is the first time, literally the first time that I've sat down and really like thought through this many different aspects of a wedding. I haven't even I haven't even made a list of all the things that go into a wedding. I don't know if we touched on all of them, but yeah, I feel like flowers, like how do I even make that? Food. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to figure it out. That's I get why people take years to get married, because this is a lot of stuff. But then again, we found a lot of really cool stuff in a short time. So you guys might have sold me on a dress. It looks very pretty. I could order it. It was like $200 or $300. I could order it, and then if it doesn't work out, maybe send it back. Or if not, then I didn't lose too much. So I might have to try it out. Well, thank you guys so much for being patient with me with the stream. I'm going to try to trim out a lot of the crap at the beginning where things were just not working out. And so I'm sorry for all that. Thank you for sticking around and being patient with me, and for sharing your ideas, and for the well wishes that some of you have sent. I appreciate you. I love you guys very much. Thank you for... Oh, Rose says, so happy for you. I missed some of these messages before I go. I'm going to read some of them. Let's see. Just that, and Blossom says, I love the golden square chairs. Bad at describing. I'll probably have gold chairs. Probably just the standard rental ones that everyone gets. But hey, if there are other options, maybe. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here so I can feed my baby boys and start getting ready for bed. I want to show you my ring one last time. In case you were late and didn't see. Now do you see the Art Deco? It's very beautiful. All right, guys. I don't know if any of y'all are talking, but okay, because the chat was like not moving for a bit. But feed the floof, says Rachel. I will chat with you some more because obviously, like, something is working here. And if you guys have any other ideas for me and my wedding, now that you know what I'm looking for, if something comes to mind, please shoot me an email. Maybe we can do this again at some point and go through some more ideas and get even more finalized on some things. All right, guys.